Fellas, what's going on? We are back here with the pressure washer steam cleaner, and tonight I'm going to be putting a new nozzle system on this thing for a potential client with reliable machining, and we are going to try to make this thing a little bit user-friendly by supplying different nozzle types. I'll be using this flare kit, and we're going to design a couple of different nozzles today, and we're going to clean some dirty objects and see exactly how well this thing can clean stuff up once again. So we'll be taking a look at some problems and making it happen. All right, one little tip I wanted to pass on to you guys tonight about flared fittings is that if you use a pipe cutter to cut tubing, you work harden the area right where you made the cut, which makes the flaring process just a little bit more difficult. When you're doing stainless steel tubing, you can't use a tubing cutter at all. But if you take a cutting wheel or a small hacksaw and cut it like that, the metal's not work hardened and the flaring process will go a lot easier. So that's our new tip action. There's your new tip, Chris. Now all we got to do is hook up some different geometry on that nozzle end. I wanted to show you guys a little funnel trick that I've been using a lot these days. Anytime you're filling something that burps a lot, if you set a hose inside the tank, you want to make sure that hose is never going to hit the fluid level, of course, but as you can see, it keeps the funnel from burping, and it increases the flow rate significantly. Let's see what happens when I don't have that in there and I pour it at that rate. Imagine this was an expensive liquid or gas or something. That's the same flow rate I was using. It'd burp even more yeah. So, guys, the first thing we're going to try is this double barrel nozzle, and the first item we're going to clean up is this chainsaw. I'm just going to give it a quick spray on the one side here. I don't really want to take the time to do the whole thing. We're just trying to get this set up for Chris. So we're going to try that nozzle first, and then we will give these other two a shot. I got a feeling this is going to be not the best for anything remotely large, but would be great for some smaller jobs. Because if you look at the size of the initial test coil, that's 1 millimeter by 7 millimeters. So that's a fairly large orifice size there. Guys, how to light this thing. First thing you're gonna want to do is turn on a little bit of gas to where you can just barely hear it hissing out of there. That's gonna be a big flame. I'm going to give a little bit more than that. Now we're going to add air very slowly. We're going to go from jet engine to rocket engine. Guys, that smaller nozzle was just too little. We started producing superheated steam. So now we're going to this size here. We're going to try that one out. All right, she's steaming. Some of this dirt that we see that's still left is scratched in marks, but for the most part, we got ourselves a eBay ready chainsaw. I kind of sprayed dirt back on that blade a little bit after cleaning the front, but you can see that it cleaned that bad boy up pretty nice. I didn't get the bottom. Pretty gruesome under there yet. This thing's kind of loud. I don't want to be running this thing this late at night. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, guys, so I tested it on this plastic here for any of you automotive guys to see if anything melted. This thing wasn't so dirty to begin with. Actually, it kind of was. But for the most part, I think that nozzle worked out just fine. I think this nozzle here is going to be good for when you need some superheated steam. So far, I don't know what we're going to do with the third nozzle yet. This just ain't going to work. This is way too small for the power of that coil, in my opinion. But I don't know yet. There's a lot of testing to be done with these nozzles yet. And strangely enough, the performance of a device like this is tied directly to the nozzle geometry. If the nozzle's too big or too little, we're going to see problems with that steam coil. The perfect size nozzle does exist. There is an optimum size nozzle for the power we're putting into this thing. Not too worried about zeroing in on it. It did a great job cleaning up that chainsaw. And we had all the power in the world. Well, I could have increased that flame if I wanted. I'm running out of camera battery and water in the tank. So you just kind of want to get in there and get out and get an experiment done and over with some type of valid proof that going forward is worthy